What's up, y'all? I said, what's up, y'all? Look at me when I'm talking to you, bro. Nah, I'm just messing with y'all, man. It's your boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV, and we in here. So check this out, y'all. Before I get going on our video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, share the video, turn on your notification, follow me on Twitter, at KO Boxing 86 TV. And if you got a breakdown or a prediction video you want me to do, knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. The record getting good, bro. 170 right, only 38 wrong. You feel me? We growing the win percentage. I'm trying to get that thing up to 90% right. We got 8 right this weekend and 2 wrong, and we got all 10 right the weekend before that. We done got 18 of our last 20 picks right, man. So y'all need to come check out them breakdown videos, man. But anyway, bro, let's get to this video. So Errol Spence got 3 possible opponents, in my opinion, man. Errol Spence realistically got 3 possible opponents, and we all know who I want more than anything. But it's time for a decision from the big fish. You know what I'm saying? It's time for a decision for man down. And y'all know how I give it up. We keep it objective, and we are fans of boxing on this channel more than the boxers. So let me first say, yeah, man, it's Dallas, Texas. Cowboys just won today. Beat them Washington non-name team. You know what I'm saying? Beat them. So it's Dallas all day, but at the same time, it's boxing all day over my allegiance to a specific fighter. So, yes, I'm an Errol Spence fan, but y'all come here because I keep it real. And we going to keep it real in this video. So, some big news happened yesterday. You got Abdul Kakarov, right? Abdul Kakarov was the mandatory. He was the mandatory for Errol Spence going into this weekend. And he took a fight with a young man by the name of Cody Crowley. And he got his ass whooped. Abdul Kakarov got his ass whooped, and so now he lost. Okay? You know who number 2 is in the IBF rankings? His name is Boots Ennis, bro. Jaron Boots Ennis. So I fully expect, and I anticipate, because the IBF is the only sanctioning body that you can trust to do what needs to be done. I anticipate them to move Jaron Boots Ennis up to number 1. That's what I expect to happen. So now you got some choices, right? You got Jaron Boots Ennis as an IBF mandatory for Errol the Truth Spence. You got Vergil Ortiz as a potential mandatory for Errol Spence in the WBC. And then you got the fight that we all want. It's Terence Crawford taking on Errol the Truth Spence. I need to hear from Errol, bro. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I need to hear from Errol on this situation ASAP, bro. I need to know what's up. What we doing? And I done told y'all time and time again, bro. Jaron Boots Ennis is a problem. And when I told y'all Jaron Boots Ennis was coming, I said, look, man, he beat everybody. But him and Errol Spence, that's a 50-50 fight. Him and Terence Crawford, that's a 50-50 fight. Based off the strength of, those fighters are extremely talented too, and they got better experience than him. But you can't say they more talented. You can probably pick and choose things that they do better here and there. But when you just talk about talent, which is your athleticism, your hand speed, your natural power, your reflexes, they don't have those things better than him. Okay? So these are close fights and tough fights and big fights. But I got to hold Errol Spence to the standard that I hold everybody else to. When I look at people, right, I'm always looking at what they say. I'm looking at what they tweet. I'm looking at how they act, all right? And I'm highly critical of Terence Crawford. I say, look, bro, you can't be coming out here saying the fight is past you, and then the next week you want all the smoke with Spence. It don't add up. It's inconsistent. I don't know what time you serious. Now, Terence Crawford fans will have you believe, oh, he just be saying that because he frustrated, right? Me, I get on to you when you say, you know, the stuff that we don't want to hear as boxing fans. But then when you start acting like you want the smoke, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Just keep that same energy. And now I'm calling for Errol the Truth Spence to do the same thing. Don't let me down, bro. I've been rocking with you because you've been consistent. And this man, you can go to his Twitter account. It's still up there, bro. Still there. The man said, I don't need a tune-up. I need to fight for a championship next. That's what he said. And so now, we got a new option. We got a new option. You can't fight Ugas. They got him going. Like, I've been telling y'all this. Ugas out the picture. You only can fight a mandatory, because I ain't asking you to drop your belt if you're Errol the True Spence. So if you get a mandatory enforced, then that's some shit you can't control, because you ain't going to drop your belts to duck out on no mandatory. I understand that. But if it's not a mandatory, that man need to be on the phone. His people need to be on the phone with Terence Crawford people like yesterday or some shit. And people are saying that Errol Spence being quiet, that's a bad thing. But see, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Because the last time Errol Spence went quiet, they pulled off the Manny Pacquiao fight. When Errol Spence get quiet on a fighter or on a fight, and he ain't talking on it, something happening in the background. And so I would just tell you, Terence Bud Crawford fans, remember, all the noise was Terence Crawford and Pacquiao. 40 million to Pacquiao, 10 million to Bud Crawford. This, that. Errol Spence wasn't saying shit. Then, boom, we got a big announcement. Errol Spence versus Manny Pacquiao is a done deal. Manny Pacquiao announced it on his Twitter page first, as a matter of fact. So, please, please don't mistake Errol Spence's silence for being scared. I've told y'all, neither one of these fighters is scared of each other. When Errol Spence get quiet, something is a brewing, bro. Calls are being made. Deals are being done, in my opinion. And I'm hoping, for the sake of everybody that's on Errol Spence, you know what I'm saying, that's fans of his, for the sake of everybody that's a fan of Terence Crawford, my hope is that leading into the new year, we get a huge announcement. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, done deal for March or April or some shit. Because you got to look at it from there. Like, if you're going to take a big risk, because let's make no mistake about it, Vergil Ortiz versus Errol Spence, if Vergil Ortiz and the WBC, if they exercise that mandatory and they make it a mandatory, that's a risky-ass fight for Errol Spence. That's a risky-ass fight. You got an aggressive, come forward, power puncher that showed he got great heart and great grit, you know, and determination, and show he an absolute dog. That's a tough fight, bro. Then you got what? If the IBF enforce a mandatory on you if you're Errol the True Spence. And it's Jaron Ennis. Because, again, remember, Jaron Ennis going into this weekend, he was number 2 in the IBF rankings. Abdul Kakarov was number 1. Abdul Kakarov just lost, okay? You can't stay number 1 if you just lost. So, logically, Jaron Ennis probably be taking the number 1 spot because ain't nobody else behind him did enough to hop over him and become number 1. So he'll probably become number 1, which will make him a potential mandatory. And if you're Errol the True Spence, I know you see this shit. Jaron Ennis, that's a dangerous fight for anybody at 147. Matter of fact, he'd be favored over 95% of the division. And the only 2 fighters, in my opinion, you can't favor him over is Errol Spence and Terence Bud Crawford. And even those fighters ain't just huge favorites to beat him. They ain't huge favorites to beat Jaron Ennis. Not to people with an eye for boxing. So if you're Errol the True Spence and you got a risky fight anyway, Vergil Ortiz risky. Jaron Ennis risky. Then your word is you want to fight for a championship next. The only way to go is to unify with Terence Bud Crawford. Bro, that's all we want to see. If you're going to take a huge risk, you might well take a huge risk for the most amount of money because you know you and Terence Crawford going to sell more than you and any of them other 2 fighters. We know that's number 1. We know number 2, your purse is going to be bigger for fighting Terence Crawford than either of those other 2 fighters. So you take the bigger risk, you get the bigger bag, and you stay consistent and stay on message. Get that belt, bro. Let everybody know it's still strap season. And I hear the noise, and I'm gonna end y'all with this, bro. I'm gonna leave it at this. Don't hold out on giving these fighters their credit when they deserve their credit. And you might say, well, knockout, what you talking about? You got some Terence Crawford fans that are saying, well, I want Errol to get a tune-up first. Because if Terence Bud Crawford beat Errol coming off the eye injury, it's just going to be excuses for Errol Spence. And to that I say, what a shame, bro. As a boxing fan, count on these people to do their job. If Errol Spence come back and they let that man in the ring, and he go through all the proper checkups, and they say his eye cool. They say he's straight. They say he ready. And let's say he go in there and he get watched by Terence Bud Crawford. Don't take credit away from Crawford, because I guarantee you this. If Errol Spence beat the shit out of Terence Bud Crawford, people going to want him to get his full credit. His fans going to want him to get his full credit. So let's give whoever win the fight full credit. Our job as boxing fans is for everybody to push for this fight. And I'm going to push for it, because this is what I want more than anything. All right? And if you Errol Spence, bro, listen. Your mandatories are tough anyway with the ones that they might throw on you. So let's get this Terence Crawford fight made, man. Keep your word. You want to fight for a championship next? It's only one champion available. And he been calling your name, bro. He been calling your name. He been searching in the wrong places, you know. He was up at the Bermuda Triangle trying to search for a fish in Texas. I don't blame him for it. It's cool. It's cool. He was barking behind the fence. That's cool. Let him do that. Just get the fight made. Just get the fight made and bounce back, bro. That's what we want to see. That's all we want to see here on this channel. I want to see great fights. And it's the biggest fight in boxing, so this one I'm going to push for. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, though, man. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts. Is y'all cool with Errol Spence and Jaron Ennis, or Errol Spence and Vergil Ortiz as a consolation prize? Or do you want the big fight right now, like I do? I don't want to see no mandatory. The division already being held up by the WBA, IBF, and WBC, and WBO. Get the hell out the way. Let these two brothers get it on, man. It's the biggest fight in boxing. That's what we want to see on this channel. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts, man. Comment down below. Smash the like. Subscribe to the channel. Share the video. Follow me on Twitter at KOBoxing86TV. Hit me up on my email if you got a breakdown prediction video you want me to do. Knockoutboxing86@yahoo.com is the email address. I appreciate y'all watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. And with that, we out of here. Peace, y'all.